What's up everyone, my name is Alpha and today we're back with another ROM hack video. Today we're on Pokemon Blazing Emerald. We haven't done this in a little bit, and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Blazing Emerald using only the HOENNIAN forms? The new HOENNIAN forms in this ROM hack is a custom-made ROM hack that also includes some new Pokemon forms of some actually pretty useful Pokemon, or not pretty useful Pokemon, but like Pokemon that are usually not that great. They added better forms and new typings. So our goal for this video is to use all of them to beat the game of Pokemon Blazing Emerald. Now, if you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It will greatly help my channel out as we're going on like 34,000 subs already. So thank you so much for supporting my channel and the series of me playing ROM hacks and hardcore nuzlocke, all that. Now let's get into the rules. The rules are pretty simple. We have to use the HOENNIAN forms regardless of anything. We have to use the HOENNIAN forms. We have to play on the hard mode, which I think means you can't switch out battles. I think it's set mode essentially, and no items inside a battle. There is also a built-in level cap in the game, so there is no over leveling in this game. Finally, and the most important of my Pokemon challenge videos is each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So here are the nicknames I picked out for this challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after my Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop it in comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And of course, while you guys are down here, comment down a comment or some challenge idea recommendations you have for me. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It'll greatly help me out. And let's get into the challenge video itself. I know I asked for likes like twice, but you know what? You guys got to do it now. To start off our adventure, there is a starter Pokemon for us to get. There's actually multiple starters. There's a Tynamo, there is a Pawniard, there is a lot of different ones. We're going to choose Pawniard because I haven't used this one at all. That I mentioned, this is the new update for Blazing Emerald, so I haven't actually used a lot of these new HOENNIAN forms at all. So we're going to try out Pawniard, and Pawniard though is really good. It does get power crept later in the game, and I'll kind of tell you why. It does have a late evolution level, so it's part of that as well. Our next spot is going to be in Petalburg Woods, where we're going to find ourselves a HOENNIAN Venonat. Now, Venonat normally is not a great Pokemon at all because it evolves to Venomoth, but in this game, it evolves to two different forms, a Fairy and Bug type, which is kind of cool, and also a Dark and Fairy type Venomoth. So two different Venomoths, really like Mothmans, but they're kind of cool. We got the Dark type Venonat, which I mean, could be good, could be bad. I'm not too sure which one's better. We're going to catch it on a team and then move on into the first gym of the game. Now, the first gym in the game is going to be against Roxanne. Roxanne is going to be the Rock-type gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against her using our Pawniard. Now, Pawniard is going to knock down the Aeron very easily. I decided to go out into my Venonat against the Geodude because it obviously has magnitude and it could do a lot of damage to me. Luckily, Venonat is able to knock him out in 2 shots, and my Pawniard could knock down the Marini, the HOENNIAN Marini, which is kind of cool. I think it's Ice and Rock, which is very weak to Steel, but you know what? It looks kind of cool. There is a lot of repeat typings. There's Ice, there's Rocks, there's Fire, and Electric. There's tons of them. Now, speaking of Electric type, we're going to go into Granite Cave, which is the name of the Dewford Cave, which I keep calling it Dewford Cave. But I'm going inside of there and catching ourselves a Dunsparce. Dunsparce is going to be our next HOENNIAN form Pokemon. It evolves at level 40 into a kind of cool dragon type Pokemon. And from there, we're going to head into the second gym of the game. We're going to face off against the Dark type gym leader, which is in place of Brawly. He's going to start off the battle against us using a Murkrow. We're going to start off the battle using a Pawniard. Pawniard is going to 3-shot down the Murkrow. Luckily for us, if we're playing on hard mode, they also don't use items, so it actually works out for me. I'm going into my Dunsparce right after against the Houndour, and Spark with 2-shot against the Houndour, and I also live an attack against the Sneasel, which I'm able to Thunder Wave it, and then set up my Venonat to knock down the Sneasel very easily, and we get our second gym badge. Not too much effort over there, as we're going to move on into the next gym of the game. Now, Dunsparce is actually a very good Pokemon. His new typing, I think, is Electric Normal, but he also has the Lightning Rod ability, which is completely broken in the third gym in Malville City. In here, everyone uses Electric move, no matter what it is, and Dunsparce just gets some free XP. As you see, he just takes... No one has any alternative moves at all, so we're able to Body Slam everything down. We put the Silk Scarf on it to boost up Body Slam, and also we got Dig randomly as a move, so that's gonna be great. We're gonna move on and face off against the third gym leader in the game. We're gonna face off against Watson. Watson's gonna be the Electric type gym leader, and we're gonna start the battle off against him using a Dunsparce. He's gonna mirror me. He's gonna go for Dig first turn, but I do outspeed him, so I can out dig him and then knock him out. And at that point, the battle is over because The rest of his team do not use any other move besides electric type moves. As you can see, just keep boosting up my lightning rod. I don't have shockwave. I don't have any form of special electric move, so I have to keep digging against his entire team. Eventually, we're gonna get down to his magnet zone, which we're still able to Thunder Wave since it's Gen 3 mechanics. We're going to two-shot him and knock him out, and that will give us the 3rd gym badge very easily. The point of the game where Pawniard gets very power crept, and he's not that good at all. It's not that good until he evolves at level 50. Now, moving on, we're going to head into Fall Arbor Town, and here there is a new section in the game. There is Fall Arbor Mines where you're able to dig up just like the Sinnoh games. You can do the mining minigame. It's actually pretty cool. You get some nice items. You also get heart scales pretty easily. You also find yourselves Dynamo in here if you didn't get them as a starter. But we're actually not going to catch Dynamo. We're going to catch ourselves a Doduo. Doduo, not a HOENNIAN form, but it evolves into HOENNIAN Dotrio with a Marowak on the team. So we'll get to that at one point. But we move on into the Jagged Pass. We're going to find ourselves our next Pokemon, which is going to be HOENNIAN Maractus. This Maractus is a fire and grass type Pokemon, which is going to be amazing to use. Flannery's going to start the battle against us using our Larvesta. We're going to beat it down using our Dunsparce, which also ends up dying to the camera, which is unfortunate. And then switching into my Maractus, this Maractus has Flash Fire as an ability, also has a move called Kindle Seed, which adds a Leech Seed effect after doing some damage with the move itself. So it blocks fire moves and also puts a Leech Seed status on someone using a fire move, which is amazing. Unfortunately, this Rapidash does a lot of damage to my team, so we gotta watch out for that. Luckily enough, our Venomoth can Hypnosis down the Rapidash. It sleeps for 3 turns, and we're able to Dark Pulse it down. And then finally, we're able to face off against the Skarmory. The Skarmory does not have any flying moves, apparently. So we're going to weaken it down using Kindle Seed and obviously eventually knock him out. And we don't want Needle Arm because this Maractus has abysmal physical attack. Who knew a Maractus build will actually be very useful for us? Next up, we're going to move on and evolve our Doduo into a Dodrio. This is a ground and flying type Pokemon, so it's gonna be interesting. Is there I guess Landorus is ground flying, so he's not the first one. Next up, we're gonna face off against Norman. Norman's gonna be the next gym leader of the game. We're gonna start the battle off against him using our Dodrio. Unfortunately, we get a body slam paralyzed on us, but we're able to two-shot him using Thrash, and then he sends out his Blissey next. His Blissey, obviously, he has poor physical defense, so he's gonna go down one shot. So Dodrio is able to knock him out. I assume since I'm paralyzed, X-Fly will obviously knock me out very easily. So he ends up doing that. So we have to go out into our Venomoth. Venomoth is going to Hypnosis down. Dark Pulse does not end up knocking him out because he's gonna wake up and knock me out. I'm able to Body Slam using my Dunsparce, which outspeeds him for some reason. And then from there, the Slacking will knock out my Dunsparce, but my Pawniard does have Protect. So we're going to spend the next, 2, 3, 4 minutes of protecting, Rock Smashing his defense down, protecting again, Rock Smash, and eventually his Slacking will go down. And then his final Pokemon will be an Ursaring. I'm able to protect myself against him, Rock Smash to lower his defense, and 3-shot him. Well, he would 3-shot if he didn't get paralyzed, but Maractus will clutch up and knock out the Ursaring for us. And we've gotten our 5th gym badge. Not really too much for us to do now. We're going to move on to the 6th gym of the game. We're going to face off against Winona. We're going to start the battle off against Winona using our Venomoth to Thunderbolt down the Pelipper. She can send out her Tropius next. I'm able to land a Hypnosis off against it. Dark Pulse it down as it's going to Brave Bird me. I'm able to win this altercation as I'm able to Hypnosis down once again. Flinch it with a Dark Pulse and eventually knock him out. At this point, Aerodactyl comes out next. I have a full team still. So, well, minus Linoone. Linoone is just an HM user. I decided to sack my Venomoth and then switch out to my Pawniard next. Pawniard ends up Iron Heading, one-shotting the Aerodactyl with a crit. Dodrio comes out next. I plan on sacking my Maractus, but the Dodrio actually ended up missing its high jump kick, and then Kindle Seed would knock him out. So that was a shame. And then her last Pokemon will be a Farfetch, a HOENNIAN Farfetch, which we thunder it using our brand new evolved Dunsparce, and we end up knocking out Winona very easily. Now moving on, we're going to finally evolve our Pawniard into our Bisharp. It is a Steel and Fairy type, and it's interesting. It's like a Power Ranger. From then, we're going to move on and face off against Maxie. Maxie's not too difficult of a battle. We actually run out of healing items, so we have to go into this very weakened. But we're able to beat down Maxie fairly easily. And then catch ourselves our final Pokemon, which is going to be a HOENNIAN Dewgong in the WoW. It takes a few tries, takes all the Pokeballs I have. But we're able to catch ourselves a Dewgong and move on and face off against Tate and Liza. Now Tate and Liza is going to be the 7 gym leaders in the game. We're going to start the battle off against them using a Dodrio and our Bisharp. Dojo is going to thrash into the Grumpig and then end up knocking out the Grumpig for us, as we're able to Iron Head accidentally into the Solrock, which one-shots it. So we knocked out 2 of their Pokemon very easily, and then we're just going to keep thrashing. Thrash one-shots the Alakazam, and then I break out of Confusion. Iron Head almost knocked down the Lunatone, which is crazy too. If I wasn't such bad natures on all my I don't think a single one of my Pokemon are good natures besides my Dugong, which is a lonely nature. Bisharp has a minus attack nature. If it was anything, it would have one-shot the Lunatone, but at this point, the last Pokemon is going to be Renewclus. I'm able to Dark Post it and Iron Head it to knock him out. We get to 7th Gym Badge, and I mean, to be fair, there's not much to do after that. We're going to go into Moss Deep Space Station. Lucky for us, Steven Stone is going to carry us through this battle because he's level 65, and I don't think there's a chance we lose this battle. So we beat down Maxie and Tabitha and move on into the 8th Gym Badge of the game. We're going to face off against Juan. Juan's going to be the water type gym leader of the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using our Maractus. He actually has an ice team, which I didn't know that at all. So I started the battle off against him using my fire and grass type. He's going to explode and kill my Maractus, which is not fun at all. That's not a great start. My carry is gone. I also then switch out to my Dojo, which got outspeeded by the Weavile and knocked out. That's also not good. So I switched out to my Bisharp to Iron Head twice to knock him out. At least we get a kill. He switches into his Mammoth, which I one-shot using Iron Head as well. He switched out into his Walrein, which, well, I mean, granted to him, he doesn't do enough damage. So 3 Play Roughs will actually knock him out. And then he switches out to his Frostlass. It would knock me out, but I do enough damage to I could go into my Venomoth to knock him out using Dark Pulse. And his final Pokemon will be a Crystallized Steelix, which is like a throwback to the anime with the Crystallized Onyx. I'm able to go into my Dugong, and with Knuckle Fins, it could knock him out in one shot, and we're able to beat Juan as he choked away that battle. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he really choked away that battle. That battle was pretty much free. He knocked out 2 of my Pokemon in the first round, so I don't know what to tell him. That's poorly played by me, worse by him, honestly. From there, we can go into Victory Road, clean up Victory Road very easily. Just go through it. And then go back to Lily Cove City. I forgot to mention there is a hidden little store here. These Aqua and Magma Grunts are friends, apparently. Lovers, maybe. And they sell some pretty nice items. This Curse Sash, I'm going to get 2 Curse Sash because it negates a move. It just lowers your stats. So that actually be useful. As we're going to face off against the Elite Four next. Our first Elite Four challenge we're going to come against is going to be Phoebe. Phoebe is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member. We're going to start the battle off against her using our Dugong. Now, I thought that said knockoff. I actually clicked slack off on accident, but it actually worked out because I'm able to slack off all the damage, ice punch him in the face, and knock out the Emolga. She's then going to switch out to her Gengar, which is going to knock me out, obviously. I go out into my Mothman over here, survive any move. 2 Dark Posts would knock him out as he Destiny Bonds me. He got me with my own trick. Which is unfortunate. I go out into my Dojo against the Lantern. Earthquake will almost kill him. So this is a horrible start. But we're able to knock out the Lantern with an Iron Head. The next 2 Pokemon will be a Bayonet. 2000 I kill bait out the Will-O-Wisp and then go into my Maractus to Heat Wave down the Bayonet, which is nice. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Dusknoir. I'm trying to go for a Kindle Seed. It's going to Ice Punch me and do no damage, and I burn it. But it decides to go for a rest, so I had to go out to my own Dunsparce Dragon looking thing. 2-shot him using Dragon Pulse. And her last Pokemon will be a Cofagrigus, which puts me to sleep and all that. Can't switch out, but I mean, it's not too scary as I'm able to knock him out using Dragon Pulse. And we end up beating Phoebe fairly easily. From there, we're going to face off against the next Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Serena. Serena's going to be the Grass type Elite Four member. I sounded so confused because I didn't know her name. But Serena's going to start out with a Sunflower that sets up Drought for us. So obviously, we're going to hit it with a Heat Wave, one-shot it. Fairly simple. Next up, she can switch out to her Shuckle. I stay in with a Heat Wave. Probably a bad play as I'm not able to knock down the Shuckle. It's going to Leech Seed and all that. Luckily, Dojo is able to Brave Bird it, knock him out. Beginning comes out, it go down to a Brave Bird. I'm like, oh, okay. Vileplume also goes down to a Brave Bird. It's baiting out all my moves, but at this point, it only has 2 Pokemon left. So that's some poorly played action right there. I'm able to Heat Wave down to Renewclus, eventually knock him out. I lied. I died to the Renewclus, but my Dunsparce will be able to knock out the Renewclus. My last Pokemon will be a Ferrothorn, which actually stalls me out for a little bit. It actually knocks down 3 of my Pokemon, which is kind of funny. But we end up knocking him out using our Venomoth, and we're able to secure our second win in the Elite Four. Next up, we're going to face off against the Fairy type Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Bede from Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're going to start the battle off against him using our Steel type, obviously. We're going to Iron Head down to Wigglytuff. Unfortunately, he decides to get immobilized by Love and paralyzed and confused. Luckily, he'll eventually knock him out, but he's at no HP. So Azumarill comes out next. I'm able to go out into my Maractus. He doesn't go for an Aqua Trip for some reason, so I'm able to Energy Ball, knock him out. The next Pokemon is going to be a Togekiss. This bad play. I go out into my Dark and Water type against a Togekiss, but I end up freezing it, but it's gonna knock me out using Air Slash. So I go out into my Dodrio to knock him out using Brave Bird. It's gonna send out a Colossal Goomy, which is kind of funny. This thing is scary looking. I am going to end up Leech Seeding it and then go out into my Dunsparce, go back in between all my Pokemon to hopefully stall him out. We're trying to just Hypnosis him, so we're able to. Why don't I go for a Signal Beam or a Thunderbolt? I feel like those would have done more damage, but worked out anyways. Play Rough knocks me out from the Bisharp, from his own Bisharp. I go out into my Dodrio. He's gonna Earthquake him, and he decides to use this Nice Vow, which doesn't do anything at all. So we're able to knock him out, and then Brave Bird into the Sylveon, do a lot of chip damage, and then Kindle Seed, very very broken move, will knock out the Sylveon. As we move on into the next Elite Four member, we're gonna face off against Drake next. Drake is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member. We're start the battle off against him using our Dewgong. Dewgong is going to Ice Punch him. Luckily, he does not have a weakness policy. 2 Ice Punch would knock him out, which is great. He's going to go out into his Dunsparce looking thing. He's going to knock me out, which is... I go out into my Cactus Maractus to live in Ancient Power. Kindle Seed him very easily. And then switch out into my Bisharp. Bisharp is going to protect. We're going to Leechy stall him, essentially. And it's actually working out pretty well. Go back out into my Maractus and get paralyzed on the last turn though, but we end up knocking out the Dunsparce. Unfortunately, the Flygon would knock out my Maractus, but I'm able to Dragon Pulse into the Flygon to knock him out. Do a lot of damage to the Garchomp, but my Dodrio will finish off using a Brave Bird against him, and then his last Pokemon will be a Salamence, which only wants to use Outrage for some reason. So I'm able to Play Rough him down, knock him out, and his last Pokemon will be a Dragapult. So I'm able to take a Will-O-Wisp, probably a bad play, as I'm able to do some chip damage, go out into my Dodrio to Brave Bird, almost knocks him out, but for sure my Venomoth can live an attack, and we end up knocking out Drake, and we secure that. So we're moving on. We're going to face off against Wallace next. Wallace is going to be the Water type champion of Hoenn. So we're going to start the battle off against him using Dewgong against him. We're going to Knuckle Fins into his Whiscash to knock him out. Next up, he can switch out into his HOENNIAN Tentacruel. So I'm like, switch out to who? I switch out to my Maractus to get a Kendo Seed off against him. But luckily, I survive a liquidation in the rain, and I can switch in between my Bisharp, my Dodrio, all my Pokemon. I should have went into my Water type at this point, where my my bulky Water type over there, but I'm able to switch out into my Dunsparce to Dragon Pulse and knock out the Tentacruel. Next up, he can switch out into his Lapras, which will Blizzard one-shot my Dunsparce, which was a bad play by me. Luckily, I go off into my Venomoth, and Thunderbolt would eventually knock out the Lapras for me. His next Pokemon will be a Crawdon. I'm not too sure what he's doing at this point. He's going to sack his Crawdon and his Ludicolo to me. Interesting. I switch out to my Dodrio to Brave Bird, knock him out. And then he goes out to Milotic. I know I could take a hit because I have a Curse Sash on. Brave Bird does about half. I should have switched out. I don't know why I'm throwing. But I go out to my Bisharp to Play Rough him, live an attack, but unfortunately still go down. I go out to my Dewgong and finish off the battle using a Knuckle Fins, and we end up beating Wallace. Almost choking at the end, but we end up still beating Wallace, and that will be the end of our Pokemon Blaze adventure. We end up beating the entire game and the challenge using only HOENNIAN forms throughout Pokemon Blazing Emerald. I want to say thank you so much for getting this far in this video. It means a lot to me that you guys watched the entire video. If you guys can, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It will really help me out. And my name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all had a great day, and I'm out. Peace.